People care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
Greg Gutfeld just threw Hollywood into absolute chaos with his latest take on a lawsuit that's rapidly turning into one of the most talked about scandals of the year. And here's the kicker. This isn't your typical celebrity gossip. It's not about some on-set feud or an A-lister's messy breakup. No, this time, it's Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni caught in the middle of a legal dispute that has insiders whispering about power moves, hidden agendas, and potential career-ending fallout. But the most jaw-dropping part of this entire situation? Blake Lively might have already left the country. While news outlets are scrambling to confirm the exact timeline, multiple sources claim the actress boarded a private jet just days before the lawsuit hit the mainstream media. And it wasn't a casual family getaway or a quick work trip. It looks like a calculated, deliberate move. So, why would someone like Blake Lively, who's built her career on charm, grace, and a squeaky clean public image, suddenly vanish from the US? Is she trying to avoid legal trouble? Shield her family from the media frenzy? Or is there something even bigger lurking beneath the surface? Something Hollywood's top players don't want us to know? Greg Gutfeld sure seems to think so. And when he shared his thoughts during his latest broadcast, he didn't just mention it casually. He went full throttle into the potential motives, the unanswered questions, and the unsettling pattern of celebrity behavior that this case might expose. But what exactly did he say? And why is everyone suddenly fixated on Blake's last known location? So what exactly is this lawsuit about? And how did Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni end up right in the middle of it? Let's break it down. It all started with what seemed like a straightforward business disagreement. Early reports suggest the lawsuit revolves around a disputed production deal tied to a high-profile project that never saw the light of day. Allegedly, financial commitments were made, creative control was contested, and somewhere along the way, personal and professional relationships broke down beyond repair. On the surface, it might sound like just another industry disagreement, the kind we hear about all the time in Hollywood. But
I mean, I internalized that as opportunity. Like, we had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something and to have the opportunity to deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yes.
As someone who is so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people who are indifferent.
Blasé.
Greg Gutfeld's commentary has thrown gasoline on the fire, suggesting that the lawsuit is just the tip of the iceberg. He hinted at deeper issues: hidden financial dealings, power plays for control over intellectual property, and even the possibility of personal vendettas fueling the legal battle. What makes this case even more intriguing is the timing. The lawsuit went public just as rumors about Blake Lively's sudden departure started circulating online. Coincidence? Gutfeld doesn't think so. And considering how tightly Hollywood tends to control its narratives, the timing does feel suspicious. And let's not forget, Gutfeld believes this case exposes something much bigger: a pattern of Hollywood stars using their power to manipulate narratives, dodge accountability, and escape consequences when things go south. But does he have a point, or is this just another media storm that'll pass once the next big headline hits? If you've ever watched Greg Gutfeld's show, you know he's not one to hold back. And when the topic turned to this lawsuit, he practically went nuclear. He started by mocking Hollywood's habit of turning scandals into teachable moments while doing everything possible to avoid accountability. According to Gutfeld, this case exemplifies that pattern perfectly. He pointed out how celebrities often champion honesty and transparency in public, but immediately retreat into silence when the spotlight turns their way. And he didn't stop there. Gutfeld delivered a scathing monologue packed with his signature sarcasm and brutal one-liners. At one point, he said, "Blake Lively isn't just taking a vacation to France, she's auditioning for a new role. The Great Escape, Hollywood edition." His audience erupted with laughter, but the underlying message was serious. Gutfeld suggested that Lively's sudden departure might be more than just a personal decision. He implied it was part of a calculated move to avoid legal scrutiny and control the narrative before the media caught on. What makes Gutfeld's comments especially compelling is how they align with emerging details about the lawsuit. He referenced industry sources who claimed that internal memos related to the disputed project were recently subpoenaed. If those documents become public, they could reveal embarrassing behind-the-scenes tactics and questionable financial maneuvers.
And being frank, if it were not for women giving me direct feedback in my own personal life and being a man who was willing to at least listen to them, there's no chance that I would be having this conversation. So the message, to answer your question, the message is very simple. As men, we need to embrace all of the parts of us that make us human. That's it.
It is.
It's
And
very simple.
The backlash to Gutfeld's remarks has been intense. Hollywood insiders have dismissed his claims as reckless speculation, while his fans are praising him for saying what no one else dares to. But here's the thing. Gutfeld has a history of calling out situations like this long before mainstream media takes them seriously. And if he's right this time, we might be looking at one of Hollywood's most significant legal and PR nightmares in years. Now, let's talk about Blake Lively's mysterious disappearance, because this is the detail that's got everyone buzzing. Multiple sources confirm that Blake boarded a private jet from a small, discreet airfield just outside New York City. There are no official statements, no public sightings, and absolutely zero social media posts indicating where she might have gone. But flight records analyzed by online sleuths suggest the jet headed toward Europe, possibly landing in Switzerland or Monaco, both countries known for their strict privacy laws. And that's where things get interesting. Switzerland has some of the most protective legal systems in the world when it comes to personal privacy, especially for high-profile individuals. If Lively's legal team advised her to seek temporary refuge there, it might give her extra breathing room while the case unfolds in the US. But why flee in the first place? Some legal experts believe she might be trying to avoid being served with additional subpoenas. Others argue it's purely a personal move aimed at protecting her family from relentless media scrutiny. However, a few more dramatic theories are circulating online, one being that Lively left because she knows the case might expose more than just a broken contract. There's speculation about undisclosed business ties, potential financial irregularities, and even whispers of involvement from third-party investors with global influence. While Blake Lively's sudden departure has captivated public attention, Justin Baldoni's role in this lawsuit is no less significant. Baldoni, who's built his career on uplifting, socially conscious projects, now finds himself in an unfamiliar position, under legal scrutiny. The lawsuit alleges that Baldoni made unapproved creative and financial decisions on the disputed project.
Was testing for a show that ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of two people maybe, and then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious.
Right.
Either you got the job or there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
Oh, what? Oh, no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
Potentially breaching contractual terms with production partners. Insiders familiar with the situation say Baldoni tried to settle the matter quietly months ago. Meetings were held, lawyers exchanged letters, and a private resolution seemed possible. But negotiations collapsed when new evidence allegedly surfaced. Evidence that Baldoni might have acted beyond his authority in signing off on marketing deals and licensing agreements. So far, Baldoni has maintained his innocence. His team insists that he followed all guidelines and that the accusations stem from a misunderstanding of his contractual rights. But his silence on social media, especially for someone known for engaging with fans, is fueling speculation that he's trying to avoid any public misstep that might be used against him in court. Gutfeld, of course, didn't miss the chance to weigh in. He sarcastically remarked, "Baldoni probably thought directing feel-good movies gave him immunity from feel-bad lawsuits. Surprise? Whether Baldoni is guilty or simply caught in a complicated legal mess remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, his normally pristine public image is already taking a hit." Greg Gutfeld didn't stop at just criticizing Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. He zoomed out to paint a broader, more damning picture of Hollywood itself. In his view, this lawsuit represents yet another example of how Tinseltown protects its own while lecturing the public about accountability. He brought up past scandals where celebrities conveniently disappeared from the public eye just as legal trouble escalated, then returned months later with a rebranded image and a PR-crafted apology. If you've scrolled through Twitter, Reddit, or TikTok lately, you already know this lawsuit has sparked a digital frenzy. Fans are picking sides with an intensity usually reserved for blockbuster movie debates. On one side, you've got Blake Lively supporters insisting she's being unfairly targeted. They argue that she's a family-first celebrity who values privacy and would never get involved in shady business dealings. Some are even posting old interviews where she talks about distancing herself from Hollywood politics. On the other side, skeptics are convinced Lively left the country to avoid legal trouble. Reddit threads dissect her recent social media activity, noting that she stopped posting around the same time court documents were filed. TikTok sleuths are analyzing blurry airport photos, convinced they've spotted her boarding a plane to Switzerland. Meanwhile, Baldoni's fanbase seems stunned. His reputation as a wholesome, purpose-driven filmmaker has taken a hit. Some supporters are calling the lawsuit a hit job, designed to sabotage his career, while others are questioning whether his altruistic image was just that, an image. If Blake Lively really did leave the country, where did she go? And more importantly, why? Europe seems like the logical guess. Switzerland and Monaco are top contenders due to their privacy laws. But a leaked flight path posted online suggests her jet might have made a stop in Iceland before heading to an undisclosed location in Scandinavia. Some legal experts suggest she might be seeking more than privacy. Certain international jurisdictions make it harder to serve legal documents, especially if the case remains a civil dispute rather than a criminal investigation. And then there's the PR strategy. By stepping away from the chaos physically, Lively might be trying to reframe the narrative. If she returns in a few weeks with a carefully curated statement, the media might shift focus from the allegations to her personal journey. Legally, Blake's sudden departure raises some serious questions. If she was subpoenaed and ignored it, she could face contempt charges. If she hasn't been served yet, her international move might complicate things for the plaintiffs. Lawyers can request international assistance to track her down, but that's expensive and time-consuming. On the other side, skeptics are convinced Lively left the country to avoid legal trouble. Reddit threads dissect her recent social media activity, noting that she stopped posting around the same time court documents were filed. TikTok sleuths are analyzing blurry airport photos, convinced they've spotted her boarding a plane to Switzerland. Meanwhile, Baldoni's fanbase seems stunned. His reputation as a wholesome, purpose-driven filmmaker has taken a hit. Some supporters are calling the lawsuit a hit job, designed to sabotage his career, while others are questioning whether his altruistic image was just that, an image. If Blake Lively really did leave the country, where did she go? And more importantly, why? Europe seems like the logical guess. Switzerland and Monaco are top contenders due to their privacy laws. But a leaked flight path posted online suggests her jet might have made a stop in Iceland before heading to an undisclosed location in Scandinavia. Some legal experts suggest she might be seeking more than privacy. Certain international jurisdictions make it harder to serve legal documents, especially if the case remains a civil dispute rather than a criminal investigation. And then there's the PR strategy. By stepping away from the chaos physically, Lively might be trying to reframe the narrative. If she returns in a few weeks with a carefully curated statement, the media might shift focus from the allegations to her personal journey. Legally, Blake's sudden departure raises some serious questions. If she was subpoenaed and ignored it, she could face contempt charges. If she hasn't been served yet, her international move might complicate things for the plaintiffs. Lawyers can request international assistance to track her down, but that's expensive and time-consuming.